Once again, I welcome you guys to the Make IT Simple YouTube channel. This video is continuation to my one of my previous videos like Python tutorial for beginners. So I just went through the videos of like all the important topics I covered, and I just went through the automation in Python with the Excel sheet. And in this video, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to show you like how to create a website with Python and using a very popular framework called Django. So what I am going to do is like I'm going to create a web application with the help of Python, right? It will take like around 1 hour of tutorial. So I don't want to cover, or I don't want to include all this 1 hour in a one video. So what I'm going to do is like I will split the videos into like three sections. Like in my first video, what I will do is like I will just cover like how to install the Django framework and how to run some sample application or sample website. Usually what we'll do is like we'll run the hello world project. That's it. And in the second video, what I'll do is like I will show you like how to define the models, that is classes, and how to connect to the database. In the third video, what I will do is like I will explain you like how to create a web application, complete web application to connect to the DB and how to retrieve the details and all. So what we'll do is like we'll just get into the video. As I said, right, the Django framework is spelled with silent D, and it will be pronounced as Django only. And in the Google itself, they mentioned like the Django is the web framework for perfectionists with deadlines. So if you are a perfectionist and you want to quickly put together a website that is fast, scalable, and secure, Django is your best friend. And here are some famous websites that was developed using Django framework: the Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, Bitbucket, Dropbox, Mozilla, and Pinterest. Now you might ask like, what is a framework and why do we need a framework to build a web application or a website? Well, the framework is essentially a library of reusable models. These models will provide the functionality for common tasks. For example, in the case of web framework like Django, they have the models to work with the HTTP request, URL, session, and cookies, and so on. And these are the concerns of pretty much every website or web application out there. So all these functionalities will baked into the Django. We don't want to code it from scratch. That's why we use a framework like Django. And as I said, like it's a reusable models. Now technically a framework is more than a library. So apart from providing the modules, it also defines the structure of the application. It tells like what folders or files we should have in a project. So it will provide some consistency among various Django projects. For examples of, so if you move from one company to another company and work on different projects, you can easily transition from one project to another project because all these applications follow the same structure. Now with this, let's create our first Django project. What I can do is like let's get back to our PyCharm. I'm going to create a new project and name it as PyShop. That's it. Just creating a project and it is getting created. And once it is created in the terminal, right, what I'm going to do is I'm just opening the terminal and I'm going to install the Django framework. For that, I'm going to use pip install Django. And if you want to do some install specific version, you can give like double equal to, and you can mention the version like 2.1 or 2.2 like that. Okay. And if I'm not giving anything, means it will install the latest version. I'm just installing it. It will take some couple of seconds to install it. Let's see what's going to happen on here. And meanwhile, once it is installed, you guys know about it, like where this external packages will get stored over here in our system. Inside the external libraries, inside the site packages, the Django is get installed over here. That's it. I'm just minimizing it. And what you can do is like just refresh this project. I think we don't have any refresh over here. I'm just minimizing it and then maximize the project panel. Okay, that's it. First of all, we install the Django only. Now what you have to do is like once it is installed, if you want to make sure whether it is installed or not, there is some CLI command will be there, Django-admin. If you enter it over here, spelling mistake will be there, Django_admin. It will give you some list of commands like what you're going to use. I will let you know in the later section. So it is Django is installed in our system. Now what I want to do is like I want to create a Django project. For that, what I have to do is like I need to use the command Django-admin /start project. Start project is one of the command, and I want to give the name like PyShop and then dot So whenever we install this Django, right, this Django brings the command line utility called Django admin. This Django admin is a command line utility or a program, I can say. So we can use this in a command line utility or in terminal. What we can do is like it will take the various arguments. One of the argument is like the start project. The various arguments I showed over here, right? Like start project, test server, SQL flush, show migration. There are a lot of arguments will be there. One of this is like start project. To create a project, you can use start project. What you can do is like we are going to create a project called PySharp, and the dot will be like it will create a project in the current folder. Now let's see. Uh, if I give enter means it will create a project in the current folder, and this dot is more important because it will create that Django project in the current folder. If you're not adding this dot means the utility will go into create a multiple folders and it will look like bit repetitive. So let's go ahead. I think it will create it over here. Yeah, see here the PySharp project is the PySharp folder in the project file is get added over here in the left side. Now let's get into this folder. Like the first one is like init.py, right? We have seen this before. This means the folder is a package, so we can import various modules from this package into other modules. Then we can have settings.py. We can define various settings of our application. We will see this later. And then urls model, urls.py. With this model we can define what should user will see when they browse it. For example, we will be browsing, right, like amazon.com/product/details, right? So that kind of URL mapping will be there in this project, in this file, urls.py. And then wsgi.py. This is a short form of web server gateway interface. The purpose of this model is to provide a standard interface between the application built with the Django and the web server. This is an advanced topic, so for now we don't need to worry about it. Outside this folder, right, PySharp folder, there's a file called manage.py. As the name implies, we use this model to manage the Django project. With this, we can start our web server and we can work with the DB. Now, what you want to do is like I want to run my application, right? For that, you can just give the command python and manage.py, the file, and run server. So this is the command we need to give to make our application up and running. So what's happening over here is like with this command, this Python interpreter, what will do is like we are running this program and passing the run server as an argument. This manage.py is essentially same as like what we worked with Django admin. This Django admin, both are same only, right? Okay. This is a model. What we'll have is like it will contain the Python code. So this will use to we use this model to manage our Django project. Now let's see. After we execute this command, right, it says like it is running on the port 127.0.0 with the 8000 port. So I'm just copying this one and going over here, just running it. See here our application is up and running. Now what I'm going to do is like I'm just going to create an app. So app is nothing but just a kind of an application inside our bigger application. So we'll be splitting into modules. That's it. So what I will do is like I'm just going to create an app, and this app doesn't represent the entire application. They are, I can say like it's a small functional area of a Django project. For example, if you take an Amazon website, means there are different functional areas will be there, right? For example, the product management, order management, customer management. So each product will be divided into multiple apps. For example, whatever the product you can take, there will be like multiple apps will be there, and each app will focus on the one functional area. So now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to add an app in this PySharp project, and let's see how to do that. For that, what I'm going to do is like I'm just creating one more session by clicking on this plus in the terminal, and here again what I'm going to do is like I'm just going to python manage.py. This is both same as Django.admin, Django-admin, and I'm going to use the argument as start app, and then I'm going to give the app's name as products. That's it. I'm just giving enter it over here, and it's get added. Now let's see in the project panel, the product is getting added over here. See here, the product is added now. Let's see what we have in this folder. We have a subfolder called migration, right? We'll look at this migration in the model section or the database section. Now let's get into the initiator IP. As it said, right, this is a package and it can be used in another Django application or more specifically another Django projects. What we can do is like we can also populate this package to PyPy for other people to reuse in Django project. For example, if someone needs this product app or product package means they can make use of it. For that you can publish into the Python package also. And then admin.py, this is useful to define how the administrative panel of this app will look like. And apps.py, right, we use this model to store various configuration settings for this app, so it would be better to call it as config, right? Okay. And this one, modules, this is where we define our classes or new types for modeling the concept in this application. For example, I need to define a class called products order and all, we will define this models.py. And then test, this is where we write the automatest for your app. And then views.py, this is where we define that what the user should see when they navigate to a certain page. Now let's create a view application over here. Views is nothing but a view function is basically a function that gets called by Django when a user navigates to a particular page. For example, this is our application, right? So whenever the user navigates like /products like this, and it will send the request to Django, and there only it will hit the function, and here only we'll be writing like what the user should see. Like if you want to write the HTML, you can write the HTML, or if you want to hit some write some text and all, you can able to write the text. Now what I want to do is like I will be defining some function over here because it is returning the response to the browser, right? That's what. Now what I'm going to do is like already the import function is there. I'm just defining a function called define. For testing purpose, I'm just making as index, and if you want, you can name it as different one also. And what you'll do is like all our view function will take the parameters. The parameter is HTTP request, so I make it as HTTP make it as request and the colon and the internet block, and it should send a response. The response should be like a HTML, or it should response. If you're sending the generate the response as HTML means what we'll do is like our browser will get the HTML content and display as a page. Now, but now what I'm going to do is like I'm just giving some response as a text message. For that, what I'm going to do is like just going to import a function from the package from Django.http import, and in this import I'm going to do HTTP response. That's it. And here I'm going to return the HTTP response. Return HTTP response. The constructor will request a string hello world. I'm just building the hello world. That's it. And I'm just saving it. Now with this request object, right, we can see the information of the client, and we are sending the information back to the client or back to the browser. Now after I'll just do the refresh over here. Still it's not working because we just added the function over here, and the request will come and sending a response. But where we did our URL mapping, we need to do our URL mapping. Like if we are doing /products, right? So it will hit that server over here, and it will look for the mapping where they have mapped over here. For that, what you can do is like we need to create a file. For that, what I'm going to do is like I'm just creating this product/new and Python file. Like here URLs. That's it. And just for the naming convention, I'm making use of URLs. It's added over here. Now what I am going to do is like I need to reference that function over here. This function, right, the index function I need to reference over here. For that, I am going to declare a variable called URL patterns, and it is a list variable. For that, square bracket I am giving over here, and here we need to import a function called path function, because with the help of the path function only we can able to map the URL. For that, what I am going to do is like I am just make use of path over here from Django.urls, and I am going to import path. That's it. And here what I am going to do is like I am just going to make use of the path function. The path function, the path, what it will do is like it will take the first argument as a string. So I am going to represent the URL. If I am not passing any string over here means it will take the root folder. So /products. If you are going to use like /product/path or /product/detail /product/1 means you can add the path over here. And here I am going to refer this views. For that, I am going to import it over from there. And what I am going to do is like from this current folder import views. That's it. And here with the help of the object views dot index. See here, there might be a question why you can import directly here like this, import of views. right? Why you are here importing like from dot import views like this? The reason is like views is a kind of generic name, right? So it is possible to have in our project that has dependency to another library called views. With this syntax, what we'll do is like the Python will end up with that model only instead of this view model in our current folder. That will take the higher priority, or I can say like higher precedence. That's it. And views, and here you can see that I'm not calling the function. Instead of that, I'm just referencing that function only. Django will take care of that calling the function at the runtime. So when client send up the HTTP request to web server means it should call this function. That's it. Now we did this path mapping. Like so, if you are browsing /products means it should call this function view.index. So it will hit the request over here and we'll be sending a response. Now let's see. Again, I'm refreshing the page. It is not happening anything because this is one of our products. We need to tell to the Django app to point this products. So here inside this PyShop project, right? Inside this URL, this is the main root URL. We need to add the mapping over here, the path. So here what I'm going to do is like next to the import path, I'm just make use of include, and here I need to do the path mapping. Path, and again the first argument will be the string. So whoever browsing with products / I need to include that app. So for that I'm make use of include, and inside that I'm just giving that URLs like products dot that file name URLs. So inside my products and URLs. So what we are saying is like who are browsing with these products, right? We need to redirect the page to products / URL. This is our products, and inside that we have the url.py. So a Python interpreter will automatically take the files with the url.py, and URL, the file name is URL. Sorry, I'm just saving it. And with this, what we'll do is like here it will go and it will check the path now. If it is empty, that is root directory means it will go to this index. Let's see, I'm just refreshing the page again. See here, hello world is coming over now. So this is what happening over here. So I'm just reiterating over here now. So this is the inside this is the main URL page for routing, and here it will check for the path like products means it will redirect or include this URLs page. Now it will go to this URLs, and here it will check for this directory. I am giving like products, so it is kind of a root directory. So it will go to this view.index, and inside this view.index this will be called. Now what I'm going to do is like inside this products / new, I'm just calling as new. If I give new means it should return like hello new. For that what I'm going to do is like I'm just going to define another function called define new. That's it. Request, and I'm just returning the HTTP response message as new page. That's it. And what you have to do is like we need to map this function over here in this path variable, in this path function, just path. Now what I have to do is like already if you are giving empty means it's a root folder. Now I have to give new. That's it. Now I have to give the function name /views dot new. That's it. I'm just not calling the function, I'm just referencing it. At the runtime Django will call the function new. That's it. Now I'm just going to refresh this page. See here, new page is coming now. So this is what happening over here. So I am going to conclude this video as of now, in this session as of now, because I don't want to cover all the topic in a single video. In my next video, I will explain about how to create a models, classes, and how to connect to the DB and all. If you have any doubts on implementing this, just add in my comment section. I will be very happy to help you guys. Thanks for watching my video. Have a good day.